Testing, testing. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Steve.
Good afternoon, good evening.
Welcome everybody to VP4TV. We have a round 4 match tonight, one of two to come on this channel. We've got the round 4 match tonight with Coldest Pillow and Albinario, and we've got the one loss side. That'll be a bloodbath tomorrow. Cobra and Spectre Dawn. Well, I hope it is. And that goes half an hour earlier tomorrow. Steve's about to explain why Coldest Pillow is going to take Albinario down tonight.
That's
putting you on the spot.
That's kind of a tough question. I think Coldest Pillow can win. He's definitely the underdog. I think he could win if he's been practicing his safety play, his kicking, his push outs, all the stuff that he really needs to work on, because he runs out good enough. He just has to do the other parts of the game well to win. So I think for Coldest Pillow to win, he's not going to be great at those because nobody improves that fast, but he needs to be better than he's been in the past, and he needs to run out like crazy. If he does that, he's got a chance. But he's certainly not the favorite. I can't pick him as the favorite in this match because he's playing Albinario, and Albin's not too bad himself.
Well, looking at the bracket, we've got Acero through to round 5 or through to the hot seat match. And this is to see who's going to join him. And Acero, of course, can't be taken lightly because I just think Acero's got I think he's actually, I think winning that straight pool and the success in this tournament, I think is building him up to take on anybody in this tournament. He could still be the dark horse.
I agree.
He might be a surprising winner, but I'll tell you something. Anybody that thinks he's not going to show up, he's showed up for every match so far, and I've been more impressed with him in this tournament than any other one I've seen him in, especially 9-ball.
He's beaten quality players. I mean, he beat Bedhead, Spectre Dawn, and Matt, and they're all quality players. I will say that I don't think he's played fantastic in any of those matches, but he's figured out how to win. He's stuck in there and rounded out.
Yeah, you don't have to be brilliant in every match. You just have to win the match. It doesn't matter how you win them, but you save your best to last, and he's going about it the right way.
I think to win this tournament, he's going to have to play better than that down the stretch. But I do think he's capable too. He's a very good player.
Welcome to Miasma. Welcome everybody else that's watching. I'm sure there'll be more will join us once they realise this is on. What time is it? It's about probably a minute and a half to go. Well, Coldest Pillow, I think that I will say this for everybody that's left in the tournament. I mean, Larry had a good win last night. I need to mention that. Slim was covering that match. I watched the rest of it this afternoon. And believe it or not, Larry actually got stronger at the right time. When it got down to the nitty-gritty, Larry dug in deep, and he was in the lead for most of the match from what I've seen. He had a couple of racks lead, and Bedhead came back into it. I think Bedhead might have nudged in front, but Larry gritted his teeth, and the trackball mouse held out for once, and he actually got over the line. It was quite a strong finish from Larry, so he's still in it. And on the one-loss side, we've got that Spectre Dawn match tomorrow night on the top half of the draw. If we look down at the bottom, we've got Larry now playing Matt. Now, they've arranged their match. I can't see when that's arranged for. When was it?
That's June 19th.
Right, so that is...
that's the 19th. That's 2 days from now. That's on Thursday.
That's Thursday evening, right. So that'll be another good one to look at. Meanwhile, this room should be up. Let's get in. Albinario is in fact. Coldest Pillow is sitting waiting to go in.
Yeah, I hope
welcome
this is
to Yama.
I hope this is a good match. I think Coldest Pillow he's ready to do something special. We'll see whether he can. I think he's going to need to break really well. He's not going to win the moving game with Albin. He just has to figure out how to not lose it by too much.
Well, it's a question of how the strategy develops. Is it going to be just all-out attack for Coldest Pillow, or is he going to have to get wise? I think you've got to get wise pretty early on with Albinario.
I think he has to play aggressive because he doesn't move that well. But you know, there's times when aggressive becomes stupid. So you do have to play safe and play good push outs. And, you know, he's going to have to kick at balls, and you need to do that well. You need to be able to kick safe. So those parts of the game, we'll see if he's been practicing. Well, I mean, he hasn't
that was a weird lag.
That before.
That was a weird lag. I never saw any of it. Well, I saw it, but I never saw the end of it. But Coldest Pillow won it.
Well, and there's a soft break. That was interesting. Yeah. See how easy he hit those?
Yeah, and look at the table. Well, this is a shot. If he gets in the two, he's out.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that soft breaking is better than hitting them hard. If you're making balls and getting a shot on the low ball, a soft break's always going to be better because it's going to be able to control things better. It's less chance of having balls cluster up. You're not going to make as many balls, but you don't need to make balls if you have a table like this.
Welcome to Mark. Well, there's a first mistake.
Yeah, that shot was a little tricky. He may have made a mistake by not being more aggressive trying to come back off the one ball. You know, he accepted that long shot, but the trouble was is he had to put a lot of English on it to try to get a shot on the three, and it made it tough.
I don't know that you can get between that 8 ball and the rail and just clip the edge of that too.
Not unless he massays it. There's no way he can.
Can you not put a bit of right English on it just to try and check the cue ball when it hits the rail? No,
he can massay it. That's the only way. Going that way. And this is a tricky shot.
Well, this either works or it's a disaster. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he's aiming way right. I would never aim this right on it.
Yeah. Well,
that kind of shot I would have played less curve because he didn't need a ton of curve. He just need a little curve to get it straightened out. It was going to come off the rail and the English would have taken, and he played in a way that was very difficult.
Welcome to Cobra. Well, I suppose that's the first little bit of luck that Coldest Pillow got there, leaving Albinario in trouble.
And this was a little careless, but he's okay. You know, the thing I love about Coldest Pillow is nothing really bothers him that much. He's kind of a freewheeler, and really that's becoming a rare bird in real life pool nowadays because so many people in these tournaments are now turning into grinders, and it'd be nice to see more people that play this kind of style where it's a little bit more freewheeling.
Now, can he build on it? Let's see how he's braking. He's going. Yeah, he's not amping it. He's just braking it rather than using the amp, and it's working. He's got the one.
Yeah, and,
one's on. 2 and 4's gone.
He's got enough room. He can hit this. Question is, going to go forward or back? He decides to go back.
Watch the 9. Watch the 9. Watch that 9. Too much juice.
It was. I'm not going to say going back was the wrong decision because going forward had its own set of issues too. Just overhit that a little. Well, let's see what kind of kick he plays. You can kick safe here. He decides to slam it. One of the problems with hitting it that hard, you know, when you're trying to open it up with English, is it just doesn't open up as much and cause them to come out quite a bit short. Well,
the Yama breaks with a house cue, though, isn't it, Cobra? That's even softer.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to hit them hard to break well. If you watch, nowadays in 9-ball, everybody's breaking.
But that's still
a medium pace.
Well, that's still a sort of, is that not a sort of frowned I don't know. Are the pros sort of against braking soft? Do they not like that? I
Well,
always seem to get the impression that they start mumping and moaning that somebody's braking soft and all that crap.
well, there's certain rules depending on.
Well, you've got to
Depending
hit so
on-
many balls to rail anyway in the first place, haven't you?
Yeah, you have to hit so many balls, and in a lot of tournaments they had rules like, you had to get 3 balls past the center of the table, or some of them were even 3 balls past the head string, or a combination of balls
I
past
think
the head
I
string
think they
and
had that
balls
in the Moscone
pocketed.
one. Yeah, they had that in the
Yeah.
Moscone. That silly rule. Yeah.
But since they've gone to the 9-ball on the head spot and the brake box, I don't think there's that kind of brake requirement anymore. I think you still have to hit so many balls to a rail. I doubt they got rid of that requirement. Honestly, I don't know for sure, but I don't see them calling any penalties for not getting balls to a certain place. So I'm assuming that they got rid of that with the brake setup they're using now.
Now, I wonder if Yamaguchi Taro was asking a question here, or whether he spot. I don't know what Coldest Pillow was braking with there, but I'll look the next time. I didn't know that. I've never been aware that Coldest Pillow uses a house cue for anything. Anyway, interesting thing there was Albinario just broke straight down the middle and came up dry.
Yeah. Coldest Pillow, his cue ball flows, which I like. And the reason it flows is because he uses English and he tends to hit a lot of medium speed shots.
Well, he could have done making a wee bit higher, but he's still fine. His combo's
Yeah,
fine
that's
as long
fine.
as it's soft enough. And he gets the cue ball across the other side of the 8.
It's actually better to have more angle because it makes it easy to get the cue ball across. He underhit that one. Yeah, let's see how he plays this. So this is the kind of shot everybody should practice. Yeah, that's well done, because that shot happens all the time. You need to be able to move the cue ball with the object ball sitting in or near the pocket, and he's going to play in the side pocket, which a lot of players will do that because you're running out, more on the line. You want to shoot the next ball. You can tell that when Coldest Pillow is playing,
he's using the house cue. He's using the house cue to break. That's me just noticed that.
Well, the nice thing about doing that is, you don't have to back off the speed or anything. He's probably just going full blast with the house cue, and likes the speed that's hitting it.
Well, he's obviously. I mean, I don't know whether he's been doing that in the rest of the tournament. I've paid absolutely no attention to that at all, but I will from now on.
I don't remember him breaking this easy, but I don't remember what I had for breakfast either.
Do you think Yamaguchi Taro understands Welsh? I wonder if he's been given. I wonder if he's been giving Coldest Pillow Japanese advice. Watch the cue ball.
What do you call a Japanese talking to a Welshman? Yeah, that conversation. I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, far too many double L's in Welsh for my liking. Oh, he has played Yama. Well, it must have been a rarity that, because I haven't seen Yama playing VP4 in months.
Yeah, and he likes to swing the cue ball around a lot. Yeah, I just like his style. He's not worried about missing balls. I mean, you can tell he just doesn't grind, and I love that about him. I mean, I think a lot of players, they start grinding and it can become a real negative. And that break didn't come out that well, but.
Well, this is trouble for him in a second here. Albinario should have him buried somewhere. This
is obviously a time you want to play safe. He's going to take him down to the end rail, it looks like.
Well, he's got there, sort of.
Well, the side pocket being there helps him a lot. because I think you can hit short of it if you spin it enough, or you could hit after it and
well, he's
hold
got through
it.
the gap, and he's missed it again. Well, there's where he's struggling to find a line to hit. I mean, that wasn't difficult to hit.
No, not only that, that was a shot you could get safe on. I think you hit a little too hard, but you hit it to the long rail and get the cue ball coming towards the 3 or 4, and you got a pretty good chance of getting safe.
Well,
I mean, I don't know if he's trying to play safe there. He's just trying to hit it, but you should be trying to play safe there. And if any of you guys are, aren't playing some shot, then you should be. If you're just trying to hit the ball, you won't learn anything, because the way you learn is by actually trying to execute a certain shot. Like, I'm going to hit the ball on this side. Just pick half the ball. You don't even have to do, be super precise when you're starting out. Just pick half the ball and say, I'm going to hit this half of the object ball at this speed, and this is what's going to happen. And
well,
once you try, you're trying to do something like that, then when it doesn't work, you learn. You're like, oh, it didn't do what I thought, or I missed it, or if you're just trying to hit the ball, you're never going to learn anything. So you should be trying to execute something when you're in that situation.
Well, this will be a good shot. Well, I don't. He just decided to bury him.
No, and I think that's a smart thing, because getting position on the 5 was going to be tricky. So he just said, okay, well,
yeah. Well, I think Albinario is taking the clues are there for Albinario. He's had Coldest pillow kicking twice, and he's missed twice. So
no, if you're Albinario, you should definitely.
There's the
any
gap.
doubts at all? He should be going to a moving game. Play safe.
Well, he got there, but stuck to the rail. He'd probably just take his medicine here and just drop through. Don't do anything else. Like I say, this is the thing about playing in a tournament match. You've got to learn as you go. Learn how your opponent's doing, and play to their weaknesses when you see them. He's already had him in trouble twice and wasn't successful from it. Coldest pillow. So Albinario is going to maybe mess him about.
It's like that for tournament play. It's like that for gambling. Yeah. I mean, you're gambling somebody and you don't kick well. Guess what?
You're going to be kicking
a lot. You're going to be getting a lot of kicking practice. Yeah, you always want to try to emphasize your opponent's weaknesses.
Well, this is if you're going to be a champion in VP4. I keep saying this: you can never win this by being one-dimensional. You have to bring all the game, especially against Albinario.
Yep. There's no doubt about it. Is that to win at this level, you're going to have to be able to do everything well.
Well, I hope he's try again. Oh no, he isn't. He got a ball. He got a ball.
This is an interesting shot. Let's see how he plays this. I like playing this thin with right English, going long rail, end rail, and straight on the 2. You can get to the long rail on this.
I think it's a bit thin, though, is it not? It's a bit thin.
Well, if no, I don't think so. But he's not going to do that. I don't think he's doing something else.
He's actually having to cut this back. He's having to cut this back. This is a bit too thin.
He's drawn this. He doesn't trust he can get to the long rail, so he's going to draw this with right English.
Yeah.
Oh, he did go to the long rail. I don't know if he was planning on doing that or not. I don't know why he was putting draw on it, because he didn't need draw on that ball. That should have just been a straight side ball to play the shot the way he did, going to the long rail.
Cobra says Yama's been playing a lot. Well, he must have been playing a lot while I was at work then, because I haven't seen him playing at all. So, Albinario with the table at his mercy, and I suppose it's getting on the 6 with the angle to get to the 7. I don't see any other issue.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have an angle back here, and now he's going to have to do something. It looks like he's going to go around the corner backwards. Oh, he's just going to softly. I thought he'd go 2 rails there. Well, and again, it's like, now it's like he's got to deal with the 9 ball. It's hard to go back. I mean,
if he goes narrow here, he's in trouble.
He's got to come around to the same long rail the 6 is on. That's what the play here. And that's what he's doing.
The 9 ball.
No, he's good.
He's got there.
That's a good shot. But, again, I mean, the position he played on the 4 all of a sudden made it tough to get to the 7.
What's the cue ball? I think he's fine.
He's okay, but he's funny on the 7, and now he's funny on the 8. These are the kind of runouts you don't want, because it's like every single time you get over the cue ball, you're looking at a shot that you don't particularly like.
YM is username. Turns out I didn't insult his mother. I don't get that. Welcome to Matt on a spying mission.
So, in spite of getting funny on a bunch of balls, Albin still gets out, and that's what really good players tend to do.
So Albie was breaking from the centre, and he looks as if he's sticking with it. Cutting across it slightly. Cue ball, try to get into the side pocket, get nudged out of the way. Try to get into the bottom left corner, get nudged out of the way, and he's sitting plumbing the 1. Straight through for the 2.
It looks like both these guys may break pretty well today.
4 and 7 ball have gone. Well, he's got to just leave the angle, and he should be out again.
He's still fine. He can shoot that up table if he wants, and I think he will. He'll shoot the 3 up table.
I think that's who Matt plays next, isn't it? But I mean, you've got to see how the rest of the guys that are still doing in the tournament, Matt. You got to spy them all, not just your next opponent. You don't know who you might end up playing somewhere down the line.
And the strength of Albin's game is really his ball speed and touch. He's just got, beautiful touch. He's got a very good feel for moving the cue ball.
Yeah, the little soft draw shots, killing the cue ball, keeping everything under control. That's a subtle part of the game. Watching what he's actually doing with the cue ball, how to control it, how to take that pace off it.
His ball speed's very good. I think sometimes he makes some mistakes in pattern play strategy, but that's getting nitpicky, because when I say he makes the mistakes, it's not very many.
That's 3 in a row for Albie, is it not? He was 3-1 down, I think.
Yeah. I mean, one bad kick can cost you 3 or 4 games, and Coldest Pillow, he cannot win this tournament unless he learns to kick better and play safe better.
Here's the test. Here's the test with the push out now.
Yeah. So this is kind of tricky, because with this many balls on the table, there's a lot of safety plays.
Do you just leave him down here in the bottom rail? Leave him a sight in the 1, or do you leave him an edge?
No, I don't think that's good enough. You could leave him an edge. You could go ahead and leave a kick shot.
Well, I don't think Coldest Pillow would want to do that, because the chances are he'll get put back in and get more practice kicking.
There's too much trouble here down there to leave him a full ball here.
Well,
as far as leaving him a full ball, that might be about as good as you can do, but I think he can make this.
I'm not convinced he can.
Well, if he can't make this, there's just a little stun over towards the 6 and bring the cue ball up, 1 ball up table. Because if you run into the 6, you got the 9 and the 7 there.
There's a dangerous thin left edge on the 1 ball to push it towards the 7 and 6.
You can also just go straight across the top of the 1 ball, hit the 1 ball straight up table, and bring the cue ball off the long rail and back towards the 6. There's a lot of options here. That's not the option that I was thinking of, though, when I said stun it over towards a 6, because he rolled that. If you're gonna roll it, you should have played the shot where he took the one straight up and down the table and took the cue ball over the top off the long rail back towards the 6. That was a very poor shot by Albin.
Now, do you hit this? Now, I thought, see, I was thinking, why not increase your odds there by hitting that one ball to the long rail and in off the 5?
Yeah,
I think that would have been a better shot because it was a big pocket using it that way.
I'm not sure what he was doing, but whatever it was, it didn't work.
He was trying to pot it clean, and that was, the odds weren't great. It was a tight line, and I think he should have used the long rail.
That's a big opportunity lost after Alvin basically plays a terrible safe and leaves you actually a pretty good table. And
bedhead cut coming up.
Oh, it's not that severe.
Oh, aye, this is bedhead territory. It's thin.
It's not that thin. He's just going to roll this. He's not. He can control the speed on this. He's going to roll this and shoot the 4 on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he even came up a little short on it. He's fine. So it's looking like it's going to be 5-3.
Well, Coldest Pillow lost the safety battle there.
Well, it wasn't really a safety battle. I mean, he won the safety battle. He just missed the shot. It wasn't really that good a push out by Coldest Pillow. I was shocked that Albin, left him that.
So this will be 4 in a row now. Let's see if there's going to be any strategy change in the break from Albie. He's just going to keep going down the line.
He's been making balls.
Nope. Same again, cutting across.
Yeah, he's playing a cut break, but he's doing it from the middle of the table. Which really, if you watch the pros breaking now, none of them are breaking from that exact spot that I've seen. But you'll see guys break from the corner of the break box, but you also see them break all the way up to maybe 4 or 5 inches inside of the corner of it. I don't know if anybody's breaking straight from the center, but they're all doing some sort of cut break one way or another.
Well, he's got to stay either inside this 4 or like that. He's got to leave himself some sort of angle to get.
Yeah, now I like going forward with this myself. He's going to go backwards. I'd rather go forwards.
So the dry break from Albinario looks as if it's going to allow Coldest Pillow to stem the tide for the time being.
Yeah, well, the breaks are real important in this kind of match. But Albin's been breaking pretty good.
So we had somebody called 1917 to Albie. I can't remember who it was.
That was Miasma.
Yeah, and that's the only one I've seen. Nobody else has called a result yet. Soft break again, ball in the side, 8 ball on the other side.
Break and actually made the 1 ball on the side, which VP doesn't break quite like real life. And in real life, that's exactly what you would see a lot.
Here we go
Maybe you
again.
need to hit it easier to do it.
Well, this is a very dangerous push here. I mean, where's he going to put this cue ball this time? Down in the short rail? To me, that's the safest place where he's not really offering Albie a pot. But it's all on this 2 ball because this table is out.
You could go down by the corner pocket. Either that or you gotta leave him a kick. And that's what he's done. He's gone down by the corner pocket, but he needed to be closer to the corner pocket.
Now, is Albie trying to sneak behind the 3, or is he going to play a bank here? Because the cue ball's heading the wrong direction if he does that.
This is a little tricky. This actually not bad a push. I'd probably shoot this. I'd probably just cut the 2 in. I'd cut the 2 in with left English, probably.
He's trying to get sneaky.
Yeah.
And he's just sneaked out.
Well, that's a tough shot. But here's the thing is, when you're playing a guy that doesn't move well, even though you've left him a whole ball, now what's this guy going to do? Because he doesn't move well. And there he gives it up. And that's why that was actually a really smart move, because even if he didn't get the hook, what's Coldest Pillow going to do? He doesn't play safe well. I think the shot he tried to play wasn't a bad one. He tried to take the 2 ball, 2 rails, but he ended up hitting the 7 ball.
Yeah, well, that's
or the 4 ball or whatever he hit.
That's already tied up. Is that the 6 and 4 that's up there? Because the ball get bumped down there, so it's locked up.
He can get to it right here. I'd actually take a run at this. You got to be a little careful you don't scratch off the back of him.
This looks good.
Yeah, that's
and
a good shot.
That'll do very nicely indeed. Is the replay working? Yes, it is working.
I mean, that was
nice soft touch.
It was fairly easy to get it going on a good line, because the cue ball wanted to go forward there a little, and just a little English to open it up a little more. And yeah, that was really well done.
Well, this could be. No, he's got the English on it. I thought it was going to die and drop it in behind the 9 there for a second, but plenty of spin on it.
Yeah,
now he's going to have to go up and down, is he not?
Down the table. Yeah, but that's not a big deal. You just need to learn how to run the ball with good lines off the rails. When you watch guys play, if you watch a player and they're running the ball off the rails on good lines all the time, that's a guy that can really play. People that run the cue ball on nice lines all the time are dangerous.
2 ball.
There's another successful break.
1 ball into the side. It's thin.
He's going to have to shoot the 1 on the side.
He's going to have to punch this in just to get the cue ball out, though, or is he going to spin it?
He doesn't have to hit it super hard, but he can't dink it. Yeah, he goes super hard. He went all the way across. I thought he'd go and shoot in between the 5 and the 7. He took it the whole way across. Well, the advantage of doing that is now getting on the 4 is trivial. He played the more difficult shot, and now he's in a great situation. You got to respect guys that'll take on, that kind of shot to get the cue ball in a better spot, because now the rest of the table's simple.
Well, Albie's won 6 out of the last 7 racks. Well, including this one. I'm giving him this one.
Well, Albin's playing the right kind of match against Coldest Pillow. Coldest Pillow needs to get on VP4 offline and practice safeties, practice kicking. Because he's just not going to win matches at this level without having those components in his game.
So a 3-rack lead now. Now Coldest Pillow is going to have to get down and really start working hard.
I will say this, in a winter break format like this, it's possible to run a lot of racks. I mean, getting up the table and running the 6-pack will fix a lot of things that are not right. That may be what Coldest Pillow is going to need to do. Let's see what kind of push out we get here. So he's pushing out to a jump shot.
Well,
which he's going to get this back.
He's not having anything to do with that.
But, I mean, Albin likes the shot. And honestly, as long as you get over the ball, there's a chance you'll get safe if you don't make this one ball, because the cue ball is going on a good path. It's going to go to the long rail and maybe over by the 8-4.
Well, I don't even think Albie's going to jump this. He's going to try and kick this.
Well,
too close to jump with a playing cue. Or is he going?
Yeah,
he's going for
jump
it.
I mean, this is what he pushed out to. He pushed out to jump shot. This was his final. Well, he's good at this shot. I mean, I think this is a smart play. It's only a dumb play if you hit the 3 ball.
Well, he's broke the 4 and the 8.
Yeah, and he didn't come out as good as he could have. So he didn't come out the way he wanted to. I mean, because he could have got safe there too.
Well, this is tough for Coldest Pillow, because if the 4 ball's awkward for a start.
There's a path here to get on the 3.
Well, he's going to have to try and avoid the 6, is he?
What's he doing here? I don't know what the hell he's doing.
He's doing that. That was well played.
That was interesting. That's not the shot I would have shot, but that was interesting.
Up and down the left side. He's going to be taking a chunk out of the 5 now. Let me have a look at how this is going to hit.
He can just soft draw this off the end rail into the 8. This is a little. He's going to bump the 5. I'm kind of surprised he didn't try to soft draw that, but he came out good. I mean, this is perfect to get on the 6. You just don't want to go in the corner pocket. That's the only thing you got to watch. Well,
now he needs a roll.
And hitting it way too hard. And that's not. Yeah.
Well, the billiard is on, definitely.
I didn't think he was going to miss that, but I thought he played the wrong shot on the 4 ball. I think he definitely could have soft drawn that back with drawing just a touch of left English. Yeah, and Albin's doing the smart thing.
Yeah. He could have played the billiard there, but again, the opportunity was there.
It's like, why do anything complicated when you know the guy that you're playing doesn't move well? I mean, that's a smart play. And this isn't an easy kick where things are sitting.
He could actually, if he gets the line slightly wrong, he could hit the rail below the pocket and still chip the 5. But he'd probably only leave it over the pocket.
This is a very difficult kick. The 7's in play, the 6's in play.
Well, why don't you roll the 8 towards the 5 and 6? Well, he's got the hit. Cue ball's going to go though. That's unlucky.
Well, that was a great kick, but
I think he could. I think he could have rolled the 8 over to the 5, and 6 here, and just try and mess it up.
He could have. But again, it's like, does he even think about that?
Billiard was hard, or the billiard, you mean? Well, the billiard, I don't think the billiard was that hard, but the safe was a lot easier than the billiard. Let's put it that way, and Albie made the right choice.
Yeah, well, the decision-making process should be, which shot gives me the best chance of winning this game? And that which shot decision can vary depending on who you're playing. When you're playing a guy that doesn't move well, you're going to tend to play safe more.
Well, I think Coldest Pillow's already had his eyes opened about what it is going to take to, not only beat players like Albinario, but to win one of these things. You can be going great guns for the first 2 or 3 rounds, but you come up against this guy, you got to. That's what I keep saying. You got to bring all your game, and that's a tough ask.
Well, there's a little bit of a saying about certain players in real life where we call them lamb killers. So lamb killers are going to destroy anybody that's not a real strong player, but then they have trouble with the guys that can really play. And one of the characteristics of lamb killers is players that just don't move well. They run out good and they don't move well. Well, they play anybody that doesn't play that good, that lets them get to the table every rack, that's going to miss balls, so they're going to kill them. But then they get a match with a guy like Albin, and it's a whole nother story because they don't get very many shots and they're forced to play a moving game.
I can just picture Coldest Pillow scratching his head right now because Albie's come up dry. Coldest Pillow's not got a shot in the 1, and he's trying to figure out where to stick this cue ball.
There's a couple kick shots. You can try to kick it in, which, you know, the kick shot to kick it in is there. It's not a gimme.
There's too much traffic here to get this one ball out of the way. That's the problem if he's playing the kick.
I would kick it to Spall, and the reason why is that there's not a lot of good places to push to. But I wouldn't kick it at that speed. See, that's a I'm just going to hit it and try to get lucky shot.
Well, he did.
I would have played and he did, but I would have played something controlled, try to make it, try to kick safe. I wouldn't slam it like that.
Now, this has got a good chance of going in here. If he gets this one ball sweet, he can get off the 3. No, he's going behind it. That's a terrible line, that, from Albie.
He had a good chance of getting safe, too.
Yeah.
Because he could have kicked it to 1 and got the cue ball behind the 5
from
ball.
Albie.
Yeah, you would expect better out of Albin there.
Now, what do you do here, Steve? Do you
just stop it and shoot the 2 in the side?
Well, I'm thinking,
3-5?
I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. That 6 ball does go, I think, once the 5's out the way. If you end up having to squeeze it past the 7, it will go. You don't have to bump anything.
Well, there's just a little stun over.
So pressure's on here for Coldest Pillow. He's really got to get out here, or this could take
I wouldn't
big
play the billiard
turn.
there. I would have played the combo, but it worked out. He hit it really good.
Well, the thing about Coldest Pillow as well is, I mean, Cobra said that he doesn't take long to line up his shot, so he doesn't dwell too much. He's obviously got the layout in his head and what he's going to do, and he just gets on with it.
Well, he's what we call a freewheeler, and
yeah.
It's a great way to play pool, but his problem isn't his pace of play or being sloppy with the cue ball, because he's pretty good with the cue ball. His problem is really just the moving game. I mean, I think playing faster is actually an advantage. And if you watch guys play fast in real life, like Jason Shaw or Joshua Filler, just tremendous players. You got guys like Gorst and Kachi that are a completely different style. They're grinders, but that's a hard way to play pool, grinding like that. It just wears you out.
Right, the 1 and 7 have gone. Now, does that 5 catch the 8 and go in off the 8? The 2-5 combo off the 8?
It does, but that's a tricky shot.
Well, is he in any position to try anything different, though? Looks as if it might be missing it.
I think going off the 8 is easier than shooting a combo. The combo does go, but it's a very difficult combo. You got to really cut the 2 back very, very hard.
Well, he must be looking at that 8 ball, surely.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a sucker shot to try to play that little kind of carom off the 8, because you almost can't hit it too thin, but you hit it just a touch thick, and it's right into the long rail.
It looks more on to me than not on. That's all I'm saying. I'd already have played this, I think. It'll
go, but this is not a shot I'd want to be shooting at. I can tell you this right now. This is how you lose matches, shooting at that shot.
Got the double hit in the 8.
Yeah, that was asking too much. I mean, you look at it and it looks lined up and all that. You go, oh, this is easy. And then you hit it and you find out it doesn't go in, and it doesn't go in, and it doesn't go in. That shot's not one I would have shot at.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, Yama. I think the 5 went off the 8. I think you could also shoot the combo, but neither one of them was a shot I would want to shoot. They were both tough.
Well, he was. What's that saying you have? He was caught between a rock and a hard place. I don't think he'd a lot of opportunities.
Albin's going to have to twist this ball a little. He's going to have to play a little twister, and then he's got to get away from the 6.
Oh, well, he's got the pot up table.
Yeah, he just got there. That was well played. That was a tricky little shot he just played there. Yeah, he'll just kill this.
Well, you're in amongst the big boys now, Coldest Pillow. If you didn't already realise that, you're in amongst the big time. Well, there's still time to turn it around. You've just got to believe. And you maybe need a few rolls here and there as well as the match goes on.
I still want to do tournaments that have set tables. Coldest Pillow will probably be good at that. So I've actually got the software to do it too, where you play pre-set up tables. So it's like the tournament would be 10 preset tables, and everybody plays the same exact 10 tables, and whoever shoots all 10 tables in the lowest number of shots is the winner. So it's like golf, lowest score wins.
Well, talking of golf, that US Open course was a bit brutal, was it not?
Yeah, that was.
I mean, the US Open courses are always brutal, you know that, but
that course wouldn't be on my playlist, and that
is a killer. That course. I mean, a 301 par 3. That's just a joke.
Well, I wouldn't be playing from those tees, but
and then 2 600 odd yard par 5s and narrow fairways. No. And a surprise winner. I've never heard of the guy that won the damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's been coming on. He won a tournament not too long ago. But he certainly wasn't a favorite. Let's see how he hits this. That was well done. That was a nice play.
Now, the 6-ball wants to go to the short rail here. I think he should still be fine. You think so?
Well, it depends on how he hits it. He's going to hit it hard.
No, he's hit it perfect.
Yeah, dead on. As long as he hit it pretty square, it shouldn't have gone too far.
He's got to get up to the side pocket. I can't believe he's going to go inside. He's got to get up to the side pocket here at least.
Long rail.
No, he is going inside.
Yeah.
And he's got there. The touch is good.
I would have always taken that ball to the long rail, bounced off of it. I mean, trying to play to that exact position is too tough.
Right, I've got a question for you.
Rail help you control the speed.
I've got a question for you, Steve, and this is an idea that Slim had. I've heard him mentioning it a couple of times, but Slim's idea is to have a doubles 9-ball world championship. Now, the obvious problem with even having that idea is, of course, having the 4 players turning up on any given day. What Slim was asking my question would be is how long can you have between matches in a tournament? I.e., at the moment, it's like, 5 days or 10 days or whatever, winner side, one loss side. How feasible is it? How long is it possible in the VP4 tournament system? Because Slim was talking about having a doubles world championship that could go on for like a year, to give plenty of time for guys to show up and arrange a particular day to play their match. Something where they're not pressured within a really very thin deadline. So the question is how long can you arrange it?
The time can be set to whatever, but
right.
It can be a month between matches, but you really want to do that? Is that really going to keep people's interest for that long?
Well, you never know till you try it.
I kind of like to have a World Cup of pool where it's a, 2-man teams from different countries. But again, same sort of problem. I'd have to find another Polak to play with Stubb, although Stubb says he's gone. We'll see if he's really gone.
Yeah, Stubb hasn't been around for a few days. He's been away probably racing. Right, well, Coldest Pillow. We'll state the obvious. You've got to get out.
There'd be some good teams. I mean, it could be Yama and Acero for Japan. That's a pretty strong team. You got the two Swedes. That's a pretty strong team. We got any other Welshmen besides Coldest Pillow that can play?
You've got Witt, who denies he's a Welshman, but I keep telling him he's a Welshman.
Got plenty of people from England and Scotland. I know we got some guys from France. Germans, there's plenty of Germans.
Well,
Yeah.
let's see if Coldest Pillow sticks with a soft break. See whether he's going to change things up.
There's another way to do it, Matt, because what you could do, and I've seen this done before. I can't remember what it was, golf or pool. I've seen it done where certain countries got more than one team in.
Well, you've always had the English A and B team in the World Cup of pool. You know.
Yeah, I believe that it was. I'm thinking a pool that did that where he had more than one team. So Cobra says he's half Welsh. So you're going to admit that, Cobra? Well, that would be a tough team. The two C's, CC.
This looks a bit tight. Yeah, he's got it. This looks even tighter.
I guess this goes because, yeah, it's a little tight.
Watch the cue ball, though. Watch the cue ball. Oh, that's a poor one. That's a disaster. Just grazed the 9 ball.
He may have thought he was going to catch more of that 9 ball than he did. I'm not sure what he was thinking there, but I have a feeling he thought he was going to get a little more 9 ball.
Yeah, this could be painful.
Yeah, well, things aren't going his way. But, you know, it puts a ton of pressure on you when you're deficient in certain parts of the game, because it means you have to do the other parts of the game just unbelievably well to have a chance in a match.
Well, I think we've spoke often enough about these World Cup of pool things, doing them as Mosconi Cup. We've done plenty of talking. I think it's time for action.
Well, Mosconi Cup's tougher because I'm not really well set up for it. World Cup of pool we could definitely do.
Of course, that involves communication between the players in each team.
And I think World Cup of pool is a better event because it gets a lot of countries involved instead of just US versus Europe.
Albinario, ball in the side. Bit of a testy 1 ball.
Yeah, let's see what he decides to do here. I think he'll shoot because this is, you know, pretty much just low and a little bit of right English. I don't see him putting right on it. I'd be putting a little right on this.
No.
And that's why you need to put right on it, because now he's on the wrong side of the 2 ball.
Well, I think the 9 ball and the 8 ball's in the way here for a start. I think he'll do well to get anywhere near this 3 ball if he can find a path.
I'm just very surprised the way he played that 1 ball. I mean, he should know better than that. He could have easily pulled this back to the other side of the 2 ball.
He might end up with a big long bedhead cut here and just take his medicine, because I don't think he's going to get to this 3 ball.
Yeah, I think he is going to take the cut. He'll just go to the third
and then the
rail
other problem
and take the cut.
The other problem's the 4 ball. Look where it's sitting.
Well, he tried to hold the cue ball. Interesting. Well, see, like here, you got to be thinking safety here. I mean,
you think? I mean, it's an easy bank behind the 6 and 4, isn't it? You might be unlucky and leave the gap, but I mean that would be the one safety.
The safety is actually a little tricky here, but I mean, I can't see him doing anything else but playing safe with where the 4 ball is.
He's going the other way, and that'll work.
That will work. Played. Nice little hold shot there. Well done.
Well, Coldest Pillow just going to have a smack at this.
Well, based on his past thing, yeah, he'll just hit this as hard as he can and hope.
Has he got the line? Yeah, I wasn't convinced he had the line.
The only good
That's
thing about
another one
that,
he's missed.
the only good thing about that for him is he didn't move the 6 or the 4. But I think it's pretty easy to get over by the 5 ball. You got a shot on the 4. So, I mean, this shouldn't be too difficult for Alvin to get it over there.
Well, he's looking at that angle there. Why doesn't he just go in the short side? He's looking at the short side now because he can just roll through.
Well, the short side is going to be easier to get to. It's safer. I think that's a smart play.
Is that a one-night tourney? No, it isn't, Matt. No. It's far from it.
Oh no, that would be a fairly long. I don't know how many teams we could get. I think we could need at least 8. But I think we could get more than that. But I think we do have to set a limit on how many teams a given country can have. I mean, if we said 2, then England would have 2. Germany would probably have 2.
Now, here's the question. Would it be handicapped?
Why would we handicap it?
Well, because you've got sharks going after numpties.
Well, that's the way it is in real life too. You know, there's certain countries that can't win the World Cup. There are certain countries that can, and there are certain countries that can't. I mean, the Philippines, the U.S., Germany. I'm not sure England or Scotland could win because you got to have 2 really strong players. Spain,
3 ball.
Taiwan, China.
1 ball in play. Cable is pretty good. Now he's got to stun this in to get out. And if he stuns it too hard, he could hook behind the 6. He won't fall for that one, will he?
No, he's going to come back and shoot the 2.
Is he going to play in the corner?
Oh,
no, he's running.
Forward. Okay.
He's running. He's avoided the 6. Got a testy 2 ball, though.
That's not a bad shot. That was a tough way to go because of some of the traffic, but he's good. I think he'll come across and maybe try to go below the 4. No, if he goes high side and very good speed. I like that play because if you're running at a ball like that, then it kind of helps you.
Yeah, Tommy's German. That's right.
Yeah, you definitely field a good German team, and but there would be certain countries that would be favorites. Well, what's wrong with that?
Well, this is looking a bit dire for Coldest Pillow now. That needs to bounce. Oh, it could have bounced a bit better than that. Well, where's Stefan? Is he German as well?
Cobra says snakes. Yeah, Cobra. Who would want to play with him?
The problem with Stefan is actually getting a hold of him, because when he signs up for a tournament, he's not in the lobby, then he appears, and then he's in and out the tournament and he's gone. You've got to get him to stick around long enough. Well, it'll be a massive comeback now from Coldest Pillow. Things need to take a big change here, a big turn in his favour one way or another. And they ain't going to be doing that as long as Albie keeps potting balls. He's got a cut back in the 1, and he's going to have to get into the cue ball.
Let's see
get
how
up
he
into that space.
I'd go forward with this. I'd hit this with top and right English and go forward.
Oh, he's digging in. He's nipping across past the 8 ball. That's what he's doing, I think. Or is it too thin a cut?
You got to if you loop it around the 7, you can miss the 8.
Not the 8 ball, the 4 ball. I meant. Oh, this looks too thin. He's going the other way.
This is a tough shot. He's going to have to hit this really good.
This will be a good one. This will be very good if he gets this.
Got to hit this with a little bit of speed too.
Watch the cue ball.
Good.
Watch the cue ball though. Yeah. Well, there's a little bit of a favour from Albinario. Coldest Pillow has to do the business.
Well, that was that was very well struck shot. It just, the side pocket was there.
I'm still interested as to whether Coldest Pillow's going to change up or whether he's just going to keep doing the same thing in the break. Whether he's going to try something different. I mean, you get to this stage where you stick to the same game plan. Well,
I mean, he's, he doesn't really have, he doesn't have a lot of choices. You got to try to break and run out because you can't do the other parts of the game well enough. So he's got one style he can play.
well, there's really only 3 Scottish players in VP4 that I'm aware of. Me, well, you've got Simon who says he's Scottish, but I mean he's bloody English. I don't care what you call. He's English, right?
He lives in Scotland. Hey,
he likes to think he's an adopted Scot, but he hasn't got his green card. Just let's put it that way.
Just like in real life, if you watch how they do things like the basketball teams, the FIBA basketball and stuff, you look who gets on the teams, and it's like, really? My grandfather was.
That's what I was just about to say, Steve. I was just about to say Simon's got a long lost great granddad that was Scottish, or really it was just a guy that had a kilt on one time for a wedding, and as far as Simon's concerned, he's Scottish. But the only one that I know is myself, Tam, and that guy Lars McCallan, who only ever plays snooker if he does appear online.
But you got to consider Simon Scottish. He lives in Scotland. Come on. Yeah, I remember like Dennis Schroeder, black guy, plays. Let's see, who was he playing for last? I don't know. He played for Germany, but he's German. You hear him talk. He's German. I never realized it. I saw him playing for Germany. I'm like, what's he doing playing for Germany? Then I heard him speak. I was like, oh, he's German.
Well, there's a line of balls here to tuck behind, but it's keeping us 2 balls safe in the process.
This is. I wouldn't be shooting at this. I wouldn't be playing that safety either. That's a crappy
that's not
safe.
Great.
This is how you get safe back, because this is actually a pretty easy safety to put the 2 on the end rail, run the cue ball back behind the 9, 6, 4, 8. But this is one you need to practice to get the angle right on the 2 ball. It's not a hard shot, but you got to know it.
There's 2 rails to get there. Well, he's going to 1 rail, and he's going to get the rub of the green here off that 9. It worked in a way. Well, I don't know it went according to plan, but it worked.
Well, that's the shot to shoot. That was, there's a lot of ways you could get safe with all those balls.
And there's a lot of room behind that 2 ball as well here.
Yeah, I mean, you got to decide whether you're going to kick this 1 or 2 rails. The advantage of 2 rails is you can kick the 2 ball down table.
Send it up table, yeah.
He goes 1,
and he's going to get a roll as well.
Yeah, but that's not good enough. That's an easy bank. You definitely shoot at this bank all day.
Got to remember the cue ball, though, for that 3. No, he's trying to duck. He got a double kiss there that actually done him a favour.
Yeah.
I think he got a double kiss.
You can play the double kiss. I kind of don't think he was.
You definitely need to seriously get this down in your list, Steve. You need to seriously consider Killer as a multiplayer game in VP4. That would be hilarious.
Yeah,
that would cause all sorts of fights. So it'd be brilliant.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
I'm going to get that link to that video, and I'm going to mail it to you so you can watch the video with those 10 guys all playing it. It's funny towards the end. But you've got players of all different standards playing. Numpty's playing, Coldest and Albinario's playing, and you've got different lives, and anybody can win it. But these 10 guys playing it, I sat and watched the whole video. It was brilliant. I think that would be a great boost to VP4, having Killer.
Are they playing for money?
No, just a bunch of guys. I don't know whether we're playing for a prize or not. Oh, I thought that was going to be nasty there.
Did he titty hook him? No.
No.
So Coldest Pillow needs to do something right now. This will be a good time to like rent a 6-pack.
Right. Well, the 8 ball goes past the 9 in that other corner, so that doesn't matter. And it's a bit tight past it the other way, but it goes anyway. So again, nothing needs to be bumped. He just has to control the cue ball.
He bumped something, but he came out pretty good.
And when you're this far down, when you're this far down, you've just got to keep. It sounds obvious. You've just got to keep playing in the hope that something's going to turn for you one way or another. But at the same time, you've got to make things work for yourself. You've got to get that break working, and you do need to run 3 or 4 to really try and get to double figures anyway. I mean, if Coldest Pillow left the table and he was in double figures at the end of his visit, then it would look a lot healthier for him. Maybe put him in a different frame of mind. You just got to live in hope. Now, this is a one where he's got to get it right, because you've got to control this cue ball, whether he's going forward, he's going to try and get it into the side.
Yeah, that's well played there.
That will do it.
Very well played. Well, Coldest Pillow has a nice game. He's just missing some components. It's simple as that.
Well, let's just say that, if he's going to sort of dissect his performance in this match, well, he's got things he can work on for the future. And if he watches the video of the match, then he might get a fair idea, if he doesn't already have a fair idea, of what he has to work on. But this is a good break.
It's a simple thing for him. He just needs to work on the moving game. That's all he really needs to do. The rest of his game is good enough.
Well, this is a perfect follow-up. This is one way to get yourself in the swing.
Yeah,
an easy table.
He gets tables like this, he's going to run out every time. And he's got this.
Yeah. Well, another important one coming up. 4 behind.
Get the same break. Again, side pocket.
One in the side.
He's playing the same break the pros do. He's hitting the one in the side every time. That's 2 in a row he's done, which is pretty
interesting.
Cool.
I mean, he's off the rail and out for the 3, 4 up the table. Probably a drawback for the 5.
Yeah, well, this is his bread and butter. He just needs to keep doing this. He keeps doing this, he can win.
Now, just got to watch that angle here. Yeah, he stunned it rather than putting too much draw on it, because the side pocket begins to annoy you there slightly.
Yep.
Anything but dead straight, you'll just kill this stone dead then.
He's playing a good pattern, and the speed of his shots. You notice how every shot's
slightly the wrong side.
This rack, just da-dun, da-dun, da-dun.
He could have done with just
stopping it there. This one will be a little
easier.
There. Well, even that one was the same speed.
No. See, that was just because he got the wrong side of the 7 there.
Yeah.
He's got more work to do here.
But, freewheelers don't worry about that. They don't worry about getting a little out of line. They don't worry about missing balls. They just keep doing this. This is a classic freewheeler style.
Double figures. And he's still going.
Breaking and running out. And there it is.
Another
one ball
couple
again.
of balls, one in the side. 7 and 8 have gone in.
I'll tell you what, he's got this down. He looks like a WNT pro right now.
Well, this is the one that's going to decide it. If he gets this in and gets on the 3, which doesn't look too difficult.
Yeah, this is simple.
Well, this came at the right time.
Well, and then the question is when Albin does get back to the table, and I think he probably will. Coldest Pillow could run 14 racks or something, but chances are not. How's Albin going to play after Coldest Pillow runs several racks?
Just got to nip this. Not too much though.
Yeah, well done. So what is this? Is this 4 in a row here or 5 in a row? What is this?
Somebody will be counting.
It
It's
was
certainly
13-6.
at least 4.
I think this is 5 in a row. I think it's 5 runouts in a row, 4 break and runs in a row. I'll tell you what,
Well,
if you can make the ball and get a shot on the low ball every rack, you're going to be dangerous.
one
There
ball
it
on the
is
side.
again. I mean,
Andy's on the 2 and the 3's there. And the 4's the problem ball. He's just got to get on this 3 good enough to get on that 4, and he should be home and dry again. No, he didn't want to bump the 9.
no, that's a huge mistake.
And well, he can feather this 3 ball in.
This is tricky because of the 8 ball. So you got to decide whether you're going to try to hold it with left English. That's what I would do. I would hit this with thin and left English and try to hold the cue ball. Or you could go around and try to get to the backside by the 6.
Yeah, he's riding his luck here, and he ain't going to get it, I don't think. He's going to be on top of the 8. Is he going to come past it? Is he coming past it? Oh,
no. It's a game of inches. Well,
oh dear.
I didn't like the way he played that. I think you're exactly right. He rode his luck and it just ran out. I didn't like the way he played that. That was not a controlled shot.
I'd be giving this a full belt. I'd be just giving this a proper smack. The 9 ball's tight in the rail. Just give this a full booner.
A booner? What's a booner?
There you go. There you go.
What's a booner?
I don't know, but it's just a phrase that came out.
Oh, you're making words up now.
Now, what's he going to do here? What's he going to do here?
I would play safe. This is an easy safety. You just roll up behind the 9 ball. Just
sneak behind the 9.
Well, you're not going to roll up close to it. You just want to get the cue ball to the long rail. Just a speed shot. Oh, he did try to roll up on it.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't have tried to roll up on it because it was harder, but he did it beautifully.
He actually might have made the 9 ball worse. Let's have a look at the 9. That 9 ball is rock solid in the rail.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. Oh, he almost moved
and the cue ball's gone south as well. Well, that's the one that will decide this rack. That
so
9
the shot
ball
here is shoot in the side pocket and bump the 9, and that's what he's doing. This is the right shot. You want to bump this 9 ball.
Got to get a chip.
Yep.
And that'll
beautiful.
do it.
And I think he'll go forward with this one. He could come backwards. I think he'll go forwards, but he likes to go forward.
Well, where can this go wrong?
He's just dinking it.
He's not even taking any risk there.
Yeah, that's the VP shot. Dink it.
Albie really wants this win after the straight world championship. Playing very well. Matt says he was 20 minutes behind. Yeah, things have changed a wee bit here. Not Cobra. I don't know why I'm calling him Cobra, but Coldest, I think it's because it begins with a C. Coldest fellows found his break to get back into the match.
Well, he runs out like well water.
Yeah.
So, if he breaks he's very dangerous.
No, he didn't get it that
but
time.
He's got the 2 ball.
Oh, the 2 ball's gone.
Yeah.
I watched the one ball went straight to the long rail this time.
This table's a little trickier. Right off the bat, he's going to be challenged getting on this 3 ball.
Got to get the gap. Is he getting there? He hasn't got the 1 for a start. He's missed the 1.
The 1 ball. He did get there, but he didn't make the 1 ball. So now let's see what happens to Albin when he's had to watch him 6 games in a row he just won.
Albie says, that's some break you found. Nice run and Coldest pillows. Thanks, Yama. There's been a bit underhand dealing going on here apparently.
Well, Yama taught him to break like a WNT pro. Honestly, I didn't think it was possible to make that break consistently at VP, but I guess it is.
Oh, welcome to Tommy.
Well, see, this is where he needs to do something good. He's got a bunch of choices here. He could just play the 1 off the rail down past the 6 between the 6-7. That's probably the one that would be easiest for him. He could play 2 rails also.
Yeah, you bank it 2 rails, Steve, to send it in amongst those balls up there and try and get cover?
He could. He's got it. Those are the two choices I see: are taking it between the 6-7 or banking it 2 rails.
I mean,
see, the problem with banking it 2 rails is he doesn't understand the line.
Mm-hmm. He could have actually just pushed that one and cut it towards a 7. He wouldn't have been leaving a pot on, but...
well, if he's going to do that, he might as well cut the ball between the 6 and 7 and take the 1 ball to the end rail.
Well, the pot's on in the 1, but there's no guarantee he'll be good here, though.
Yeah, well, he just lost that by giving up a shot. Can he stand across
this? I was thinking, he's brushed onto the 3. That'll work.
And that was, yeah. And just that poor safety could cost Coldest Pillow this match.
Tommy says, I was at vacation my last match versus Bankster. I have asked twice to play one day after time limit, but Steve didn't answer.
Early. Oh, did you ask support, or did you ask you send it to super admin? Super admin gets so much stuff that I don't see a lot of stuff there. Yeah, all that kind of stuff needs to go to support.
Yeah, if you'd said to me, Tommy, I'd have got a hold of Steve one way or another. Anyway,
yeah,
Coldest Pillow.
Super admin's no good. You got, because that thing gets so many messages. It gets all the tournament proposal stuff. It gets all of the moderation stuff. It gets all the kicks. It gets, it gets everything. So you got to send it to support.
We've got a match on here, folks. It's 13 apiece.
Well, I didn't even see how Coldest Pillow get to the table.
Neither did I. I was too busy looking at the chat. Yeah, you send if you need to get a hold of Steve, contact support, use the support tab and message it that way. I think that's dry. Yeah. Well, now the sort of pressure's on Albie here with this table, and it's
well, when you've got a guy that's run a bunch of rocks like that, then he just didn't get out. I don't know if he dogged or what happened, but he didn't get out. So now it's like you might not feel quite as comfortable. I mean, this table's pretty easy. I expect he's going to get out here.
Oh, it's a poor safety from Albie, according to Cobra. That's how Coldest Pillow get in there. So just drop the 3 in and roll through for the 4. Nothing fancy here. Is he getting there?
Yeah, good shot.
He's perfect.
Yeah, I agree. A good match. And Tommy says his last message just to you. Sorry, Tommy. Sorry I missed it.
My last message was to you, Hugh. What message was that? Have I missed it?
The one he was just talking about his scheduling issue.
Oh, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know, if they weren't watching Slim last night, well, look who's arrived. The guy that's left VP4 for good. And I blame that on Steve, because Steve mentioned Stubb earlier on, and sure as anything, he turns up like a bad smell.
Here's the thing, Hugh. That VP4 is like heroin to Stubb.
Just like a drug. You got to get a fix.
He can't stay away.
See, I get my fix. I get my fix tomorrow morning and Thursday morning. That's when I get my fix, my cowboy doubles. That does me for the week.
All right, so let's see what he's going to do here. This looks like this looks like a tricky situation here.
It looks like a combo to me. That's 2 and 6.
Yeah,
I was trying to say there about one pocket Slim. Anybody who doesn't know and wondering why Slim forfeited against Bedhead, just to let you guys know, Slim had a problem at work, something to do with some crazy guy that works with him who hit his vehicle and whatever, and that delayed him at work, and he couldn't make the match. And he messaged Bedhead. That's why he didn't show.
He's actually on this pretty good because you can take the cue ball off the rail. So you got to hit this with a little bit of speed. You want the 2 ball to come off the 6. It'll probably hit the 9 a little, and you want the cue ball to come back kind of over where it is now, or a little
Maybe
past
you
it.
can talk to Steve. Was
Now
my message to you?
He's drawing this. Why is he drawing this? I wouldn't draw this. Maybe he feels like the 2's going to get too high. Yeah. Okay. Well, that worked out pretty well. He got a lot more 9 ball than I thought he was going to get, and he's good. That was well played.
Well, it's a race to the finish line now, and Albie looks at the moment, provided he gets good in the 3.
Well, here's the
he
thing
could have a
that's going to
2-rack
be
lead.
in the back of Alvin's mind. He knows that if Coldest Pillow gets to the table, he could run a bunch of racks.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not like alternate break where with a big lead you're pretty safe. And in this winter break, anything could happen. And this is why I like winter break, because I think it's just a lot more exciting than alternate. Alternate is more about holding serve. This is about putting together some big runs.
Now, Larry, who hasn't said a word in the stream, suddenly comes out with a sentence that says, "Minnesotans are crazy. It's the long winters." Now, I have not a clue what that means, but obviously Steve must understand it. Well, you need to give us a clue, hey, Larry.
Just watch the movie called Fargo. Watch Fargo, and you get an idea what Minnesotans are like. Have you ever seen Fargo, Hugh?
No.
Okay, well, that's a movie you need to put on your watch list. Watch Fargo.
Minnesotans are crazy. It's the long winters.
Yeah, watch Fargo. You'll understand.
Oh, but Larry's got to elaborate on that. He can't just come into the chat.
I just elaborated for him. Watch Fargo.
No, that doesn't explain anything. I mean, you've got to explain it to those that haven't seen this movie.
You don't want. Well, that's why you watch it. I don't want to give away the movie.
Give us a clue. Well, Albie's off and running again, although he's going to have to bank the 1. And if he banks this 1, he's nailed this. He's going to have a 3-rack lead.
Yeah,
at the right time.
He's going to make this bank, and this is instant position on this. You
right.
Just need to hit enough speed to make sure the 6 ball can't screw you.
Yeah, he's nailed it.
Well,
I was just going to say the commentator's curse here, but you got off the hook, Stevie. He nailed it.
That was sitting perfect. I mean, Albin banks well. That's like a gimme.
Minnesotans are the Welsh.
I don't know, man. I think the Scottish are crazier than the Welsh.
Well, the Welsh are the only thing the Welsh claim to fame is singing, and they've all got a mining background. A lot of them, all their grandfathers and fathers gone by were all down the pits.
Yeah, well, that's a rough life.
Yeah, I would never ever grudge anybody who. I mean, there's 2 jobs that I don't. I think they deserve all the money they get. Anybody who works in oil rigs and they get paid a fortune, good luck to them, because that is scary in the North Sea. I mean, the waves are up as high as the bloody deck in those oil rigs. I mean, fair play to them, those guys, and any guys who go out and go fishing, in these little fishing trawlers. Good luck to them as well. That's a job I could never, ever do for all the money in the world.
Well, Coldest Pillow may need to run a 6-pack to win this.
Well, not if Albinario keeps potting balls. And this 1 ball.
Yeah, and this is looking actually pretty good here. I mean, this is... You got a choice here. I would always come back on this. I think he will too. Right,
so the big test here is 5 to the 6. That's the one that wins the rack, because this 6 ball is hampered by the 7 on the short side, and it doesn't go past the 8 unless he comes down to play the combo.
Where you really want to be on that 5 ball is you want to be like, see where the cue ball is going now? You want to be towards that long rail, but on the other side of the 7, you want a little angle back and just 3 rails and
to the short side, yeah.
And the thing is that shot for a good player isn't that hard because they'll run the ball on a real good line. Now, see, he's not on that
Well,
line, so this is
ain't it.
well, he's going to have to play the combo. This is no good. I mean, going forward and trying to get there is a little crazy. I think he'll play the combo, or he could play the billiard here too if he gets right.
Oh, he's trying to sneak down there, and this is a disaster. That's a disaster. He suckered himself there with that.
I didn't think he tried that shot. That was a tough shot.
Too much fizz into the cue ball.
He's like he didn't hit the titty. I mean, that was a tough shot. I mean, he hit it pretty good.
I hope for Coldest Pillow's sake that he's still got a few of these breaks left in him, because this is when he does need them now. He's running out of racks here, and I think he's got himself too straight here as well. Is he going to have to punch this?
I think the biggest problem with the break is we're not racking like a template rack, so there is a little bit more variability here. The advantage you got is it's a lot easier to hit it the same way in VP than it is in real life. But in real life, they're using a template rack. We're not, so it's.
One ball looped in the side. It didn't go this time. He's dry again, and that's what he doesn't want.
And I think that maybe it was, I don't know, you ask Yama, angle or speed.
Well, this 2 ball's hard to get to.
That's the thing. That's why that break is tough, because it's not just the angle you hit it, but it's the speed and also the spin too, because you're putting backspin on it. So you got 3 variables: angle, speed, and spin. Spin's probably the least of your worries, especially in VP. But the speed you hit that break does vary where the cue ball is going to go. I'm not
convinced you can get that in this pocket. He's going the other side.
Yeah, this is tough. I'd be wanting to play safe, but the problem is the 7's in the way.
Can he get there?
He's playing this on the right side. This will go. It will throw in there.
Yeah, it did go. Yeah, got it clean. Well, that's what you didn't want, Coldest Pillow, the dry break.
You have to read the rack. Well, you can try to read the rack. I mean, that's definitely doable, but they got rid of that in Pro Pool by just using template rack. If they're really smart, they play 10 ball, but that's another story.
I think he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. Just a little soft little stun. Yeah, perfect. So it's going to be 17-14, and Coldest Pillow cannot afford to trade games now, so he's going to have to put a run together.
Well, is he going to get back to the table? That's the question, because Albi's going to be 2 away, and it could be all over. That break could have been his last shot.
Yeah, I mean, you got to realize that Coldest Pillow has very little in the way of a moving game. If he did, he would definitely be one of the guys' favorites to win a tournament like this. I mean,
this looks dry. Oh,
he's taken Albinario down the stretch, and with a moving game that's not very good, this guy's got tons of potential.
Right, so 1 to the 2, not a problem. 6 ball goes, nothing needs to be moved.
2 to the 3
balls just a bit fiddly.
2 to the 3 is a little funny. You can go forward and then kind of spin back up above it, and I think that's what he'll probably do. That's a simple thing to do, is you just roll forward just a touch when you pot the 2, and then a lot of left English and spin it up top above the 4 ball, shoot in the same pocket.
Oh, what you don't want to be is dead straight.
A little off, yeah.
Now this is a tester.
You just think this a little. It'd be nice to get off the rail a little more. He's going to take it there. So this is just English. You're just going to use English to get it above the 4 ball. Just don't want to hit it too hard, and that's perfect. And he solved the problem. So
No, not
we'll
quite
see.
yet.
Well, I like taking this to the long rail. He's going to just straight draw it. The problem with this is it's hard to control the speed. He needs to stay above the 5.
Uh-oh.
And see, this is the problem with the speed.
This needs to bounce. It needs to bounce. And I think
Oh, and
he's
it
okay.
did. Yeah. See, I didn't like shooting it that way just because it was very speed sensitive.
So I think he should be off the rail here. Yeah.
He'll go forward here, I believe. I wouldn't pull this back.
No, you just don't want to even leave that 9 ball in the equation. Well, he is digging in. Yeah. It's the wrong side of the 7.
Yeah, see, I would have gone forward there and left myself a better angle than this.
He's going to leave the cut. And it's well off the rail. Well, I say well off the rail. It isn't frozen.
Well, you got to decide whether they're going up and down or dinking it.
Up and down. That's a sensible route. Up and down. He's trying to baby it in and hold it. Well, that'll do it.
Well, in real life, a player would almost always go up and down there just because reliability of stroke's better.
Right. 2 in it. Break time for Coldest pillow. 1 ball on the side. No, it hasn't gone. He's lost his break.
Well,
he's dry again.
It's short again.
And the bank's on again for Albie. Cue ball around and out the back of the 7 for the 2, and the top left past 8.
Yeah, this is a little trickier, the angle he's got, but getting by the 4 ball. The 4 ball is a lot more in play than the 6 was on the last one.
Oh, that's dead center. Yeah, he's bumped to 4. He's got a pot, although
that was definitely a little trickier to deal with. So now the question is, are you going to play safe or are you going to shoot? I think he'll shoot.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. He's going to dig in, get to the rail, back out for the 3, and it was testy.
That's why, the safety wasn't super difficult.
Now,
so
do you just nail him to the 9 or do you take a far-fetched combo in the 9? I think you nail him to the 9. The only problem is if you put the 2 to the long rail, you could end up leaving a kick in here.
Shooting combos is always a dicey thing, this angle isn't this kind of angle combo. I mean, unless you really like it, I wouldn't be shooting it.
This is an easy lockup in the 9 for as far as I'm concerned. He's umming and ahhing at it. I don't know. I mean, he should already have played this.
Two rails out of it and take the cue ball down to the end rail. It looks as if
he's lining the combo.
He is.
Yeah.
Didn't go.
I would have stuck him. I would have stuck him every day of the week.
Yeah.
Now he's only lifelines of 7.
But
and the 7 can be got at.
It's that kind of decision isn't really that difficult for him to shoot at it because he doesn't move very well. I mean, he moves good enough to probably put him on the 9 ball. The shot.
Yeah, I would have stuck him in the 9. I wouldn't have thought twice about it. So the only danger with that sticking it on the 9 is pushing the 2 to the rail and leaving a kick up and down on that.
You were going to leave some sort of kick there.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying you could take it 2 rails, take the 2 ball 2 rails out of there and use the 9 to hook them.
Now,
take the cue ball to the end rail.
Do you want to do anything stupid on the 4 ball and try and bump the 8 or the 7 and still have a shot in the 5, or do you try and do this clean?
I would just do this clean.
Because you can get into that spot to get the 7.
I'm not quite sure why he pulled that back. I'm not sure why he didn't slide it over and get down further for the 4.
I'll tell you something.
That's a little bit of a mystery to me.
He's going to have to be very good on this 7 because he's not got a lot of room to work with here before it gets to a dodgy cut angle.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. He's got plenty of room to get. If you got a little bit more cut angle, it ain't the end of the world. I think he's got plenty of room to cut the ball. Well, the other thing is you can play to the short side too if you want. You can play to the short side for the corner or the side pocket.
Needs to keep going with the cue ball. He's going dead straight. He's going to have to.
Well,
he's going to have to go forward and spin it.
Go forward. With this, you just leave yourself thinner. He's going to hit it harder. Leave yourself a little thinner on the 7. I mean, it's still a shot you should be making.
I'm still not 100% convinced.
No, yeah, he's just going to leave it a little thinner.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with this. I mean, in real life, you wouldn't want to be this close to the rail, but there's nothing wrong with this in VP. I think he'll make this. I think he'll get a little rub. I'm not sure if he's going to rub the 8 or not. The problem not rubbing the 8 is a side pocket, but I think it'll rub the 8. I think it's close enough. It's got to get a little rub.
I'm thinking he's maybe looking at the bank, but he's back at looking at the cut.
No, he's going to cut this. I think he'll get a slight rub on the 8. Nope, he didn't.
Yeah, it's not going.
And it's not going. Whoa, boy.
I was always in doubt on that 7 ball that he was going to leave himself awkward because it was a tight space to get in there to make that cut.
But that's a shot you're going to accept there. It's the only other choice was to play short side. I don't think trying to run into it was a good choice.
Oh, hang on a minute. That needs to keep running.
Yeah, he's fine. Other than the fact that he's locked on the rail, but this is VP. Let's shoot that in like it's nothing.
Well, here's the biggest break of the match coming up now. The one thing that's sort of eluded Coldest Pillows, he's breaking the last 4 or 5 times he's broke, and he's hoping for one this time. He's hoping for one this time.
Yeah, he's been breaking dry the last couple. The scary thing about a guy like Coldest Pillow is he's not afraid. Oh, and that was just short.
And he's short again, and he's dry again, and he's not left an easy one.
All right,
well, it's not easy.
So this is where Alvin needs to do the right thing. I would bank the 1 at the corner, take the cue ball down table, because
there's good cover up table, isn't there?
Well, not only do you have good cover, but you got the end rail there.
Yeah, you send the 1-2 rails to the end rail and duck up table. Got to be a reasonable safety.
If you come up short, then the 1 ball's going to the end rail.
He might have to spin this a bit to avoid bumping into something in the way up there.
He is going to have to spin this.
Well, what way is he going here?
Because I think he'll run into 3 ball if he doesn't do something. Yeah, he went short.
And he's left the pot on. Well, everything about that's wrong. He didn't get there either way.
The thing about that, playing that 2-way shot, is if you missed, you had to miss short. You couldn't afford to miss long, because missing long sells out.
Here's the question being asked of Coldest Pillow right now in this rack here. Get yourself out, and you have to do it. This is the bit I love about this match now. He's got to get out. He's got to get on the 2. If he gets on the 2 good, he's out. So this is all about this shot right now. Well, that'll do it. He's on it one way or another.
What just happened? Oh, shit.
Well, you've disappeared. Really? Don't tell me your VP4 crashed, Steve. You're going to have to contact support. See how long it takes you to answer that bloody message.
It did crash.
Oh, there's a disaster. Don't forget, Steve, get your bug report and find out what happened. I love that when this happened. Contact support. Well, Coldest Pillow decided that the safety was the best option, and the problem is that Albie's got a kick here, and this 4 ball could end up going in. You never know what can happen here.
Well, what you didn't know, Hugh, is I'm running the 64-bit German version. Look at that.
There you go. I told you, commentator's eye. Look at this. And that's what's wrong with that shot, leaving that possible kick. And he nailed it. He nailed it. And that again could hurt even more. It's going to be Albinario on the hill if he can get out. And Coldest Pillow has got to be kicking himself there in more ways than one. Did you see that kick there, Steve? Are you still not back yet?
No, I'm back. I did.
Yeah. Well, it was always odds on that 2 and 4 were lined up there. And that's a painful way to maybe play your last shot in the match. Oh, here he's back in his other profile, Steve. He's back in his other profile. You're going to have to be quick. Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, that's quick.
He booted him out the door. He'll be back in another one.
Maybe he wants to lose more money. Maybe that's what he's trying to do.
Oh, dear.
I find him before for crap like this.
So
Well-
Albinario going to be breaking for the match.
He is, and Coldest Pillow's hoping for a dry one because he got a chance to run out from where he's at. If he can get a dry break here, then Coldest Pillow's got a chance.
Oh, it looks dry. Oh, hang on, the six
double
just went in
bump.
the back door there off the 7.
Yeah, this is tricky though. Is he going to shoot it or is he going to play safe?
Now, let me have a look at the line he's got here.
He's got a pretty easy safe. He takes the 1 ball, 2 rails.
Do you try and stun in behind the 4?
Well, I'd actually stun and let it go behind the 8, but we'll see what he decides to do.
Well, it's tricky to try and run between that 2 and 8 going that way as well.
No,
looking at that line.
Between the 4 and 8 is how I take it.
The 4 and 8?
Yeah.
He looks as if he's lining up the pot here. He's going all out. Yeah, he's going all out. Where's the 5? Oh, he's got a nudge.
Well.
Yeah.
So he can't. Well, I don't think he can. He'd have to put a lot of English on this to avoid the 8. He probably just didn't take the bump on the 8.
It won't matter as long as he doesn't stick behind it. So this is all over, folks. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute.
Explain to me how it doesn't matter, Hugh. Explain to me how it doesn't matter. The 8 ball.
I'll hold my hand up, folks. We've got it in video. I jinxed him.
It doesn't matter.
Oh dear. Well, there's a twist.
Well,
and of course, here's the bigger twist. He's going to kick it in.
Oh, that'll be a hell of a kick if he kicks this in.
Well, he's pretty good. Got to miss the 5 though. It's a bit tight.
Well, he's going 2 rails.
Going inside and out. Aye.
Pretty good attempt.
Wow.
Well, he's on the funny side of the 3. This is no gimme here to get on the 4.
Well, I mean, he's going to draw back and play the 4, somewhere behind the 9 or something like that. Yeah.
I like the way he hit that.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
100% on it.
Well, so that's not afraid to hit it. I like that shot. That was beauty. A lot of guys don't like that shot in VP. They miss it. That was just throated.
Let me just say it before we get there. This is the break that has to work for Coldest Pillow. He's got to find a break again. He's completely lost the break in his last 4 or 5 breaks.
He's been a little short with the 1 ball. He just needs to adjust. And I think he needs to hit it. I don't know if it's softer or harder. I thought it was harder to be able to go higher.
Well, let's see what happens this time. This to take it all the way. No, he's short again. And he's dry again. And there's a 1 ball going safe. Yes, it is. That's the only saving grace he got there.
And this is tricky. There's no safety here, so this is where you may consider pushing out. He's
already decided that. Yeah.
And this is kind of a tricky push out. I think I'd be pushing out to the other side of the ball here, to be honest with you.
Now, when you say the other side of the ball, you're talking about down this bottom half of the table.
Well, I didn't even consider going there.
Well, this is a little tickle, isn't it? Is he just going to do a little tickle?
I like banking the 1 ball down there by the 3. That's what I'd be doing.
But the problem is he's not getting an awful lot of room to get there, is he?
No, it's you're taking the cue ball. You're taking the cue ball off the other long rail and back towards the end rail. Maybe try to even put it behind the 5. Yeah, you go behind the 7. It's just a bank where you go behind it. You hit it thin.
This looks as if it's heading towards the pocket. This looks as if it's heading towards that corner pocket, though, doing that to my eye. Yeah, he's just feathered it. Yeah, I thought that's what he'd end up doing.
That's not a bad play. Yeah, this is a tricky kick. That's not a bad play at all.
He ain't playing the edge of that one because he's going to scratch off it.
Yeah, I like that shot better than my shot. So he's going to have to take this down towards the 6 and hit it with a little right English to hold it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you can't
And
afford to hit the titty. So
these are very tricky to judge, right? So they are these
These
shots.
are tricky.
Yeah, he's got the right English on it to try and
He's
straighten
got not
that
only
line.
the 6 and 2, but he's got the titty to worry about. Well, he hit that real easy. I don't know
That's not
about
getting
this.
there. That's not getting there, is it? Oh, right. Well, this is not a gimme table. The 2 does go past the 6.
Well, I think this is a pretty good table. It's not a gimme table, but it's a pretty good table.
Right. The 4 ball he's got to get into the table for this 4 ball. He's got to get up where the cue ball is now and beyond that to make the cut.
The good thing about the 4 ball, it's natural to get on the 5.
No, he can't leave himself short here. He's got to get up with the 8 ball. He must get up with the 8 ball. If he doesn't get there, he ain't got the button angle.
Get that high,
He's got to not hook himself behind the 8 ball though. Oh, disaster!
He didn't need to get that high. I would have played it lower than that.
Oh dear! Anything but clean past 8. A little bumpy was fine, and now it's heave ho. Give it a bang.
Yeah,
and oh, hang on a minute
though. Hook him? No titty hook.
No, it's all over now.
Yeah, see, he could have tried to kick safe there, but he doesn't have that in his game. Well, if Yama taught him how to break, maybe Yama can teach him how to play safe and how to kick and all that, because he's going to be a force to be reckoned with if he gets that figured out.
Stubbs in the chat in the stream. Set the race to 100 for that final. Right, well, set the race to 100. I'll put up $1,000 V Stub, and I guarantee you'll be lucky you get 50 racks in it. Well, Albinario putting the finishing touches to a match that he looked as if he was going to win it comfortably. And then we had that little roll from Coldest Pillow, and then suddenly it deserted him.
Coldest Pillow played well. I mean, he's got a heck of a game. I just got to find the missing components. And
Albinario will be relieved, because I'm sure Albinario was getting visions there of some sort of disaster happening the way Coldest Pillow was running those racks mid-match.
Remember, CP is still in the tournament. Now he's in the loser's bracket, so there's there's going to be some fireworks in the losers bracket with him. He's definitely a contender still. Well,
that's one match down. We've got the one lost side match tomorrow at 6:30 British summer time, so it's half an hour earlier. Race to 15, and it's an all UK, all England match. Cobra, the champion, or multiple champion, against the wannabe champion Spectre Dawn. So it's now doomsday for Spectre Dawn tomorrow. Is he going to be up to the task? Well, Coldest Pillow will have to do things the tough way on the one lost side, and we'll just check the bracket for that. And if I can get the thing to work, we can see that that's not where we want to go. We can see we've now got the top half of the draw, Acero, now going to be playing Albinario in the hot seat match, and they've got until June the 28th to get that played. We've got the match tomorrow night, and the bottom half of the draw here, we've got the Matt and Larry match, which is Thursday night, isn't it? I think that's what he said. And Coldest Pillow is now waiting on the winner of the Cobra Spectre Dawn match. So Coldest Pillow now knows that things don't get any easier. One lost side, you've got to be beating. You've got to be beating all comers in this thing.
Well, the thing is, by losing that match, he's made it so he's going to have to beat more good players than he would have had if he won. Let's have a look
at this. I want to see how the stats were for this match. So I don't know that this is going to work, is it?
I'll try to be there for tomorrow, Hugh. I should be able to, although I might be a touch late. I might be getting there. I should make it by 1:30, but I don't know if I will. It's 1:30 my time it starts.
I'll boot up. Why is this bloody thing not... Hang on a minute. I'll boot up Discord. Now I can't get the bloody thing to type at all. I'm trying to get to see the stats. It'd be interesting to see those. There we go. Now stay there. Right, and Albinario. All right, that should be it. Brake stats. Yeah, Coldest Pillow is 1.1 balls in the brake. Run outs from the brake, though, Albinario had 7 and Coldest Pillow had 4, but I'm sure that was that 4 rack run that he had. I'm sure his rack's high run's going to be 4.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm pretty
no,
sure.
tell a lie. Tell a lie. He only get 3. It seemed a lot more.
I thought he was 4 and 5, but maybe it was 3 and 4.
100% on the 9 ball. And 1 brake fill from Albi. Shooting 72 for Albi and 66 for Coldest Pillow. But I think the difference in the end there was the run-outs from the brake. Albinario, I mean, that's probably the story of it.
I think the difference in the match was the moving game. I think Coldest
Pillow
did a good job to be that close. Albin didn't move as well as I thought he would. I mean, Coldest Pillow could have won that match.
Oh, there's somebody that hasn't been in VP4 for a while, Shulgin. I don't know what the hell's happened to him, unless he's been another one that's been in jail. You never know. Right, well, it was a good match, and we thought it was going all the way. Unlucky to Coldest Pillow. I think he's away to drown his sorrows. Yeah, he's left the building. Albinario, well, good luck to him again. He's battling to go all the way. He hasn't been a champion in a tournament for how many months. Cobra's stole the limelight.
Yeah, Cobra's been taking his...
And Acero, well, he didn't this time. It was last year he won that, but Bedhead won one recently as well, did he not? So Albinario's out to rewrite the balance again. Right, folks, thank you to Steve for his contributions. Thanks for you guys as well. Now, again, hit the like button before you bail out on me. Just a quick tap. And we'll see you tomorrow night. I'll look out for you tomorrow night. You need to check on what that crash was, Steve, and get it fixed.
Like I said, that was the German 64-bit version.
Was it? Seriously?
Yeah. It was
so
a
much for that
German version 64-bit, and I'm not sure.
So much for that test, then.
Well,
right.
It had run for 4 days. Unfortunately, I didn't have a debugger, so I didn't catch it.
Right, well, that is it, folks. I'm off for a coffee. That was an enjoyable match, but it's just a pity that Coldest Pillow's brake died on him, because he was out of the match until he had that little run, and we thought it was like a 4 or 5 rack run, but if he just kept that going, it could have been a different story in the end.
He had a chance. He's still in it. He's in the loser's bracket, and he's dangerous.
Deserted him.
And I'll tell you what, Cobra or whoever wins between Cobra and Spectre Don is not going to be looking at an easy match against Coldest Pillow.
No, I think they're all aware of how dangerous he is. But like we've said, I mean, the interesting thing is that not wanting to jinx Cobra, but if you've got Spectre Don and Coldest Pillow up against each other, and the two of them have their weaknesses, it'll be an interesting. It'll just be a shootout. That'll basically all that'll be. And I don't think there'll be a lot of moving in that. It'll just be pot everything.
No, that would be a fun match to watch, though, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah. Well, Cobra might have a few things to say in that tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to it.
Cobra's definitely the favorite in the match tomorrow night, but Spectre plays good enough to win.
Right, we won't hang around any longer. Thanks all for your company. Try and join us tomorrow. Thanks to Steve. If you can't see it tomorrow, it'll be on the playlist as they all are. And until we meet again, I'll bid you good evening. See you later, guys.